what's going on, everybody? Christian Ballard Sports Media coming at you with a preview video today as we are officially into the Big 12, going by conference this off season, doing all of the Power Five. And then if we have time, we'll get into some Group of Five teams like BYU, Cincinnati, UCF, teams like that. But definitely want to get you guys all of the Power Five. We got the Big 12 left. And we got the Pac-12 as well. And we're going to start things off in the Big 12 looking at the Baylor Bears, who went 12-2 last year, winning the Sugar Bowl. And, by the way, their last 5 games. Now, a lot of people are high on Baylor, much like I am, going into this next season. They won games. They actually started out pretty good on a 4-game win streak. I think with all the hype around Iowa State, which we'll look at in a different video, with all the hype around Iowa State, that was a pretty big win there to get it at home at McLean Stadium. They did lose to Oklahoma State 24-14, but they bounced back very well with West Virginia, beat teams like BYU, beat Texas. At TCU, they did lose, but then they won their last 3 of the regular season, beating teams like Oklahoma, who had Caleb Williams, who emerged as a great quarterback there, who's now over at USC and Lincoln Riley. They beat Kansas State and they beat Texas Tech. I really don't know what to say other than I think that it had a pretty good start. They really just had some minor slip-ups here, right? And they were close games. I still consider, I don't know, you guys let me know in the comments. Is 10 points still a close game? I think it is. I mean, it's a field goal and a touchdown possession. Then, of course, only 2 points to TCU. I don't know if that's really a excusable loss, but it's not bad. It's definitely, been better. Or could have been better for them if you ask me. So, but again, beating teams like to beat BYU, to beat Texas, to beat West Virginia, to beat Oklahoma, to win the Big 12, and then to win the Sugar Bowl over a really good Ole Miss team. I think it was a good season for them. I really do. 12 wins, 2 losses, 8-2 overall in the Big 12, and they won their last 5 games. I consider that a very impressive season for the Big 12 champions and the Baylor Bears. But that being said, we're not here to completely talk about last year. We want to look at this year and what they could do. Let me put this up here too. Yeah, there we go. Forgot that. All right. So 2022, a lot of people are high on Baylor. All the experts are saying this could be the year for the playoffs. This could be the year for the Big 12. This could be the year for Baylor and Coach Dave Aranda, who, remind you, was one of the defensive coordinators at LSU in 2019, who helped the LSU Tigers win the national championship. But let's take a look at what they got as far as the schedule here with Baylor. Albany, at BYU, Texas Tech, at Iowa State. Shout out to Jeff Webster there. Oklahoma State, get a bye week. At West Virginia, Kansas, Texas Tech, at Oklahoma, Kansas State, TCU, and then at Texas. Bottom line is they got a pretty good stretch in the non-con before they get started. BYU could be a trap game. They do have some trap games. I'm going to say the 3 trap games I would watch out for if I'm Baylor. I would watch out for BYU on the road, Iowa State, and at Texas. I think the home schedule fits. I'd be careful about teams like Oklahoma State, though, at home. I think let me see. Oklahoma's on the road. I expect Oklahoma to take a major step back, especially losing Caleb Williams and Mario Williams and losing Lincoln Riley as the head coach to USC. Even though they bring in Brent Venables, from Clemson, who has had tremendous success with defense. I'm curious if Oklahoma is going to even field much of an offense this year. In my opinion, I don't think that they will. And again, we'll look at Oklahoma in a different video, but that's a game like where Baylor should win, but is it a trap? I don't know. Maybe by that point in the season, Oklahoma figures some stuff out and Baylor figures some stuff out. But I think even if both of those teams are having great success and finding their identity and finding their rhythm, the Oklahoma game is one to circle on the calendar. And I just think that Baylor will be really, really strong at that point in the season. So, is Baylor destined for another New Year's Six bowl? I think so. I think they're another New Year's Six bowl team. I think they are. I think they could be a playoff team, honestly. I expect them to. But I think it's New Year's Six bowl or bust. Remember, they went 12-2 last year, won the Sugar Bowl, and won their last 5 games, by the way. And when you look at it, too, they were some close games. They won the Big 12 title game by 5 points. They beat Texas Tech by 3. They won by 10 at Kansas State. They won by 13 with Oklahoma, and they won by 14 with the Ole Miss Rebels in the Superdome and the Sugar Bowl. So when you look at it, they did play some close games. They proved that in those moments they can win and pull the game away. If the game's on the line, they can get it done. They can take care of business and do what they have to do, right? And they return a tremendous amount of talent this season with, I believe, Abram Smith coming back at running back. I could be wrong. Let me see. I got it right here. Gary Bohannon, quarterback. Tyquan Thornton is gone. R.J. Sneed is gone. Drew Estrada is gone. Treston Ebner is gone. They really do have a lot to rework. Maybe I've overlooked Baylor a bit. I don't know. I don't know who is going. The Big 12 right now is such a big mystery to me because you have all these new and young coaches. Baylor is still getting the hype. I don't want to say that they deserve, but they're still getting some attention that they could be the potential Big 12 champions this upcoming season. So, but they did lose actually quite a bit that I'm just not finding out about. I thought, let's see. So they lost Jalen Pitre, J.T. Woods, Terrell Bernard, Rayleigh Texada on the defensive side, right? Siaki Ika is a guy that returns greatly to start out with the front seven. Lead-in tackler Dylan Doyle comes back in the linebacking corps. Pass rusher Gabe Hall comes back too. So they do actually return, they return their defensive front, if anything. But to lose their quarterback and Gary Bohannon, and then to lose some guys to the NFL like Drew Estrada and Tyquan Thornton, those are pretty big losses there. So it's like they haven't really exactly made up for what they've lost altogether. I still expect them to be a pretty good team, though. I don't see the thing. I don't know. Maybe this isn't the year for the Big 12. I don't think it's the year for Oklahoma. It could be the year for Texas. It could be. I really don't know. I'm at a loss. I'll say this. I will give Baylor 10-2. Another 10-win season. Some people are expecting that, but their losses are going to be at Texas and at Oklahoma. They got a pretty tough stretch there. At Texas Tech, at Oklahoma, back-to-back road games there. I think by November, I think Brent Venables could figure out some stuff with Oklahoma. I don't see too much competition on here. The non-conference schedule is UA Albany or University of Albany, whatever, BYU, and Texas State. You could win all of those, right? Iowa State lost Breece Hall and Brock Purdy. Who knows what they're going to look like? We'll look at them in a different video. Oklahoma State, haven't looked at them yet. When in doubt, I take the home team, right? That's what I say. So I'm in doubt about the Oklahoma State game. I'm going to give it to Baylor. There is a lot of hype around Baylor this year, even with everything that they lost, which is mind-boggling to me. But I guess believe the hype or don't buy the hype sometimes. I don't know. But there's a lot that goes into it, and there's still plenty of time. Lord knows what's going on in Waco, Texas this offseason for the Baylor Bears, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But I love you guys. I'm gonna get out of here. Jesus loves you. He's got a great plan. Keep your head up and believe that. Do me a favor, please like, comment, and subscribe right here to Ballard Sports Media for more sports content. And until next time, folks. Also, by the way, leave your predictions. I'm going with 10-2. Texas and Oklahoma, their losses. I just think it sets up perfectly for them, even with everything that they lost. I think they could still be a team that's prepared. But I love y'all. Jesus loves you. He's got a great plan. Love y'all. God bless. And like I always say from an Alabama fan, roll Tide roll. Ballard Sports Media. Check it out. Love y'all. Peace.